Blind monk invited a master to write sutras on his body. He did not spare a single inch of skin. His master had told him that, as long as his entire body was covered with sutras, evil spirits would not be able to find him at night. However, the master neglected to write on one important spot, and it was precisely this spot that nearly cost him his life. As midnight approached, a demon clad in armor came knocking. The blind monk trembled upon sensing the commotion, daring not to make a sound. Nevertheless, the unwritten spot exposed him. In truth, the demon did not come to harm him, but simply to invite him to play the pipa. There is a terrifying legend in Japan that 800 years ago, two families in Japan went to war. However, because the Genji family was larger, the Terra family suffered countless casualties. Because the Terra family's resentment was so strong, strange things began to happen in the area. Even the crabs in the sea grew human faces. It wasn't until the locals built a temple, the strange occurrences gradually decreased. However, all of this was disrupted by a blind monk, because Mike was good at playing the biwa. He was especially good at playing stories about the Terra clan. At first, he did not realize the seriousness of the situation. But one night, while he was playing the biwa, he suddenly heard footsteps around him. Immediately afterwards, a samurai appeared. He asked Mike to play a story about the Terra clan. Since Mike was blind, he couldn't see the samurai's face, so he reluctantly agreed. Little did he know that the samurai had brought him to the Terra clan's large tomb. The people sitting around him were not ordinary people, but a group of long-dead vengeful spirits. What was even more terrifying was that this was not a palace hall, but the Terra clan's tomb. At first, as a blind man, Mike played his lute every night without anyone knowing. But one day, the other monks became curious about Mike, and told the abbot about his outings. The abbot asked him why he kept going out at night. Mike could only accept the abbot's criticism, and dared not mention the lute-playing matter, because the samurai who had brought him there had said that no one must ever find out about it, or else he would pay a terrible price. That night, a heavy rain fell. The other monks discovered Michael going out again. To find out where Michael went at night, they braved the rain to search outside. They found Michael's straw sandals near the tomb. Just as they were wondering what was happening, two ghostly flames suddenly appeared behind them. Then they heard the sound of the pipa coming from the tomb. Mike was sitting cross-legged on the ground playing the pipa. They were so scared that they hurriedly told Mike to leave, but Mike refused to move. Once the pipa started playing, it had to be finished. Realizing that Mike might be possessed, they forcibly dragged him back to the temple. Little did they know that this action had completely enraged the vengeful spirits of the Terra clan.